I think we're all aware that the human race in general is quite greedy. I think if you mention to somebody, a peculiar way of procuring money, cash, I would say they would probably pursue that venture until they suck it dry. In other words, they're either not making money or they're losing money. Then they would go on to some other venture of pursuing the cash. With that being said, I think Hollywood just exemplifies this greed to such an extent that it is painfully obvious. I mean, you can pretty much ask anybody what's one of the most greedy corporations that you know, and I would probably say Hollywood. 90% of the time, most of them would. And really, we're just looking at that today. I like movies. I mean, I don't know who doesn't like movies. I mean, turn on a pretty good movie, makes you think a little bit, kind of watch some action scenes. That's some good stuff. But at a certain point, it just becomes like slop. Like they just start pitting out slop to make money, and the movies are just actual junk. The movies are just awful. Like you can't even sit through them, they're so bad. So I'm just going to give a little bit of examples. I think one of the most obvious examples would probably be and most recent would be the Jurassic Park. The first Jurassic Park is awesome. I would even argue that you could put the first Jurassic Park in top 100 movies of all time. That movie was so good. Jurassic Park, the original, was incredible. Incredible movie, incredible plot, good little Samuel L. Jackson bits, good stuff. But the second Jurassic Park and on is just awful. Like I couldn't even sit through the second Jurassic Park, the one with the mercenaries and stuff. This is the most generic, bland piece of Hollywood slop that's ever been produced. And it just comes to a point where this is just greed. It made money, but it's an awful movie. It's just a waste of my time. It's just people. It's just a cash grab. That's all it is. Another good example would be Star Wars. Star Wars is a movie. It's a family space opera. That's pretty much what George Lucas said. You have your original generation, then you have your following generation, so father and son, and then you could theoretically go on forever with Rey Skywalker, granddaughter, grandson, blah blah blah. But it's really just a cash grab. I think we all know the sequels are complete garbage. Yeah, pretty much just another cash grab. And then I think one of the most obvious ones to ever be produced are Fast and Furious. Like you're telling me, I've never really watched a lot of Fast and Furious. I might have watched like one or two. I thought it was alright. It's nothing crazy. It's not really that good of a movie. The action scenes are pretty mid, and I'm not really a big drag racing guy, so I don't really care for the racing scenes. They're pretty stupid, to be honest. But anyways, you really tell me you need 12 Fast and Furious to tell a story? No. Your movie, it's an art. That's really what I'm trying to get at, is you really, when you make all kinds of sequels and stuff like that and going after the cash, you're just ruining the art. You're just going after the money at that point. It's just a money scheme. It's no longer a movie. It's no longer an art. Like one of my favorite trilogies of all time is the Dollars trilogy with Sergey Leone and Clint Eastwood. And you can make 3 movies to tell a story. I mean, that did it perfectly. It broke it into 3 movies, and it's still being used to this day. Like we see media with Red Dead Redemption and stuff copying certain places and certain events in that in the movies and stuff like that. But it's a good trilogy. You have your first movie, sets up your characters. Second movie gets a little more in depth, and the third movie ties it all together, and possibly, I would say, a top 10 movie of all time with the good and the bad and the ugly. That's a good trilogy, never to this day been reproduced, and it never should be, because it's complete. The trilogy is complete, and it should never be reproduced. And I'm just like making this because we've seen a lot of this recently with Gladiator and stuff like that. I didn't even watch Gladiator 2, so I usually don't speak on stuff that I don't have no experience with or haven't seen. But Gladiator 2, it was awful. Why would you remake Gladiator? Gladiator was a complete story, and it needed no sequel, no nothing like that, no prequel. It was a complete told story, one of the best movies of all time, and you just go off and ruin it with a cash grab. And obviously it's going to make money because you're making money off of the name. That's all you're doing. You're just making money off of the name. So really, with this being said, I think the world is obviously a greedy place. People talk about money makes the world go around. It does make the world go around. You follow the money, you'll find the money trail. You'll find where stuff leads. You'll find the root source of evil, probably. That's probably where all money leads. But yeah, it's just, you don't need all these sequels and movies. It's just ruining art. You know, making a good movie, making a movie that actually makes you think, ponder, has good foreshadowing, good symbolism, good stuff like that. It's an art. It's very rare that you see a good movie nowadays, because most of the movies, again, are a cash grab. And honestly, I don't blame them, because if you pay attention to my video, Why Is Everything a TV Show Now? It's much more profitable to upload a TV show on your streaming service, because not only you have to pay for the streaming service, so that's basically like your ticket to the movie, but then you can source ad revenue from your TV show. So it's a lot more profitable to to get a TV show up and running on your platform service than it is to make a movie. And nowadays, I'm surprised that we even see movies like standalone movies, and honestly, they are pretty rare. Most of the movies you see nowadays are just cash grabs or lazy remakes, just like Disney has done lazy live action remakes. Like, it's not a new movie, it's just remaking off of the name. It's a literal cash grab. A live remake is a literal cash grab. That's all it is. So Laura, what is the point of making this video? All you see anymore is cash grabs. Nobody makes a good standalone movie. I don't think you could even say we've seen a movie in the IMDb top 100 in the past 5 years, because nobody makes good movies anymore. With that being said, kind of starting to rant on a little bit here, but a movie is an art, and humanity's greed, the population's greed, has diminished this art to a point to where it's no longer an art. It's just cash grab. We don't see good movies anymore. It's no longer an art. It's just cash grab. Just people looking for cash, making junk movies that shouldn't even exist. Just upload a TV show, bud. So with that being said, do I think we're going to be seeing any good movies anytime soon? No. Realistically, probably your best bet nowadays are TV shows, I would say, because that's anything anybody's producing, because it makes more money, and probably, you know, you're putting more effort into it because you're more guaranteed to make money off of that. With that being said, movies, a lost art. Population greed, yeah, real thing. Greed's pretty big. With that being said, that's about it for today. Stay safe and stay hydrated.